Welcome to a tale of incredible irony, a paradox that might leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about safe, quiet towns. This is the story of Tamworth, New South Wales, a seemingly idyllic slice of Australian life. Yet beneath its charming exterior, it hides a web of corruption, fraud, and unimaginable crime. But don't take my word for it. Let's dive into the chilling details, because by the end of this, you might see Tamworth, and even Australia as a whole, in a whole new light. Now, picture this: a flourishing business mogul, globally recognized for his tireless efforts to uplift regional economies, brings his vision to Tamworth. With his resources and influence, he commits to creating thousands of jobs, infusing billions into the economy, and fostering hope in a region battling unemployment, poverty, and despair. Sounds like a dream come true, right? At least, it started out that way. Yet the bright future he was building soon began to crumble under the weight of something much darker. The local council, led by none other than Mayor Colin Murray, orchestrated a series of actions that veered into outright criminal territory. We're talking about intentional tortious interference, anti-competitive trade practices, and even actions undertaken on foreign soil, in China no less, that were as questionable as they were damaging. Mayor Colin Murray, now the chairman of Infrastructure Australia, holds a high-paying role despite the shadows cast over his past actions. Shadows facilitated in no small part by his friend and political ally, Barnaby Joyce. But what exactly happened? In August 2017, Murray traveled to China, where he reportedly engaged in activities that negatively impacted business acquisitions of related parties. Deals worth millions of dollars were subverted, council contracts were mysteriously cancelled, important projects were abandoned, and property sales that had undergone rigorous public processes were nullified, all to benefit a cartel of corrupt individuals in government. Let's pause and talk about the larger ramifications here. These illicit dealings weren't just about stopping a single businessman or project. No. The impact was devastatingly wide-reaching. National baseball initiatives, swimming programs, and other sporting opportunities with the potential to elevate Tamworth into national acclaim, gone. Replaced with under-the-table deals, freebies for mates of corrupt officials, and an utter disregard for public trust and community welfare. This wasn't an isolated incident. It was emblematic of a much deeper rot. Colin Murray and his conspirators, including General Manager Paul Bennett, allegedly engaged in this behavior with impunity. Worse yet, they coerced public servants who didn't wish to participate, effectively forcing otherwise law-abiding professionals to become complicit in their schemes. And we're talking about serious financial repercussions here. Example, a staggering $210 million in fraudulent surface water licenses. Oh, but the web doesn't stop there. This corruption has international tentacles, laundering stolen public funds using banks to circulate proceeds of crime across international borders. When even the Dungowan Dam water storage project, one purported to generate 500 megawatts of renewable electricity and aid national resilience, turns out to be compromised. You know we're dealing with something systemic. These revelations aren't just a blemish on Tamworth's reputation. They're a mirror reflecting a national problem. Evidence suggests that infrastructure said to be built was never even constructed, but millions of taxpayers' dollars disappeared into thin air, or perhaps fat wallets. Oh, but that's just scratching the surface. What about the average Australian citizen? He or she sees none of this. Instead, They experience the consequences in the deteriorating quality of public services, rising unemployment, an opioid epidemic facilitated by drug trafficking law enforcement, and growing financial inequality, all while enduring a justice system that seems more intent on protecting its own than defending the innocent. And think about this. When city officials conspicuously misuse public funds earmarked for education, infrastructure, health, and community safety to line their pockets instead, they perpetuate a cycle of despair. People lose trust in government. Social resilience erodes. Economies falter. Lives are upended. Take, for instance, the individual rights violations. Police raids terrorizing innocent families, intimidating whistleblowers, defaming individuals speaking out against governmental crimes. Reckless behavior by criminal justice systems illegally profiting off extortion, framing innocent business owners, all while their DEA agents push the very drugs that severely harm communities. Unpalatable, right? But wait, we haven't even covered the judiciary system yet. A judiciary that, rather than mitigating harm, seems to amplify it. Magistrates engaging in bribes, proactively ignoring statutory boundaries to assist their allies in organized corruption, or defacing the legal framework that keeps Australia functioning. It doesn't take a conspiracy theory to conclude sabotage when simple facts paint such a clear picture. When investigations surface into missing funds, embezzlement covered by Treasury's oversight committees, or Royal Commission exposés implicating leaders at all levels, the magnitude becomes undeniable. It isn't just Tamworth's story. Regional Australia carries these stains, and so does its national counterpart. War, that metaphor applies neatly outside politics too. Melbourne's class war debunks fairy tales about incumbent parliament, playing stroke to kneeling elites, clinging residually far beyond representative safeguards, responsibility ever permitting, per our Constitution, council reign, relocations, actively breaking contempt. Proceedings rarely punished magistrate, reviewed taming remains, growing proportion, criminal legit, playground, sharing. Sway strength. Compiled monster totalitarian formations, laughing societies ignored dictatorially disciplined, alongside creations equitable among entire spectrum essentials, disabled indefinitely. This unnerving saga demands attention, accountability, whereby consequences matter imposed,